Democrats ecstatic as FBI finds new Trump dossier. Not laughing when they see who wrote it, by Robert Rich Politics, U.S. News for MadWorldNews.com. The FBI investigation into so-called Russian collusion has recently experienced a shocking twist, as agents are now investigating a second Trump-Russia dossier. Democrats are ecstatic over the news, but they won't be smiling when they see who wrote it. We've been forced to listen to liberals and Democrats go on and on about Russian collusion since the day President Donald Trump was elected. Despite having no evidence, the idiots have said that this would finally lead to Trump's impeachment, but that has yet to happen. As we learn more about the documented use to fuel these claims, it's become rather clear that the Democrats have been up to their usual dirty antics. For one, the dossier on Trump has turned out to be nothing more than partisan lies funded by Hillary Clinton and her campaign. The news Friday that two Republican senators have recommended the FBI and Justice Department to investigate the author of the Steele dossier, a collection of memos filled with wild and unsubstantiated allegations involving President Trump and Russia, gives a black eye to the mainstream media that have devoted enormous news coverage to the dossier. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley and Senator Lindsey Graham called for the investigation of former British spy Christopher Steele, who wrote the dossier after he was hired by opposition research firm Fusion GPS. Fusion GPS initially received funding from the Washington Free Beacon and then was paid by Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign and the Democratic National Committee for the dossier that Steele produced, source Fox News. Seeing how it's almost a year now, the left is starting to lose hope that anything will stem from the Mueller investigation. Of course, there are still many holding on to hope for Trump's impeachment by a thread, and things just got better for those wishing to see Trump fall, or so they thought. According to recent reports, the FBI is now investigating a second dossier pertaining to President Donald Trump and his connection with Russia. Just like that, the left has reignited their claims of collusion and are once again cheering for a potential impeachment. Too bad for them. They may not want to hold their breath. In fact, they won't be laughing after they heard who wrote this second dossier. As most Americans know, Fusion GPS is facing stark scrutiny after the biased and inaccurate nature of the Steele dossier was revealed. As we've now learned, the new report is no more credible. According to The Guardian, the FBI obtained the report back in 2016 after it was handed over to them by Christopher Steele. Apparently, he had it in his possession after acquiring it from an American contact while doing research for his own dossier. Unlike the first, the newly boasted dossier wasn't written by a member of the intelligence community, but rather a hatchet man, quote, and close friend of the Clinton family. Furthermore, some people say he was a member of a secret spy ring, but others simply refer to him as a Democrat hack who shouldn't be taken seriously. Sadly, the FBI isn't listening. The second memo was written by Cody Shearer, a controversial political activist and former journalist who was close to the Clinton White House in the 1990s. However, The Guardian has been told the FBI investigation is still assessing details in the Shearer memo and is pursuing intriguing leads. One source with knowledge of the inquiry said the fact the FBI was still working on it suggested investigators had taken an aspect of it seriously. The Shearer memo was provided to the FBI in October of 2016. It was handed to them by Steele, who had been given it by an American contact after the FBI requested the former MI6 agent provide any documents or evidence that could be useful in its investigation, according to multiple sources. Shearer is a controversial figure in Washington. Conservative outlets have accused him of being part of a hatchet man, a member of a secret spy ring and within Clinton's orbit. There is no evidence that the Clinton campaign was aware of the Shearer memo. Are you kidding me? But other people who know Shearer say he is not just a Democratic Party hack, and there is no evidence that his memo was ever sought by the Clinton campaign officials, source The Guardian. If anything has been made clear during recent days, it's that the FBI is desperate for a win. Shockingly, we're seeing just how far they're willing to go in order to achieve that. Not only was their last source exposed to be biased in the utmost sense, but their newest source of, quote, evidence seemed to be even less credible. Desperate times come for desperate measures, but the longer the FBI keeps grasping at straws, the quicker they're going to render themselves irrelevant. The first dossier was a disaster to their credibility. The fact that the corrupt agents responsible for this investigation want to delve into another one that is even worse shows exactly how low they're willing to go. I would say arrest them for handing out that dossier, the second one. I didn't hear about the second dossier at all. Now they're coming with this crap.
First, Republicans in Congress are demanding an investigation into Christopher Steele. He's the author of the infamous Trump dossier that has dominated politics in this country for an entire year. Fox Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge is all over this story, and she joins us tonight.
Well, thank you, Tucker. This case matters because it's the first known criminal referral from Congress as part of the Russia investigations. The Republican chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Chuck Grassley, who has oversight for the FBI and Justice Department, along with his Senate colleague, Senator Lindsey Graham, believe there is a violation of 18 U.S.C., which is lying to federal authorities, commonly known as the Martha Stewart statute. According to the letter made public today, the senators believe potential violations for false statements relate to Christopher Steele's distribution of the unverified Trump dossier. A half dozen major media outlets were briefed before the election. Steele was on the payroll of opposition research firm Fusion GPS, whose co-founder is former journalist Glenn Simpson. In the months leading up to the election, Simpson told Steele to brief reporters at least twice after no reporters ran with the story. The project was, of course, funded by the DNC and Clinton campaign. Senator Grassley said the criminal referral is about a perceived double standard. Trump campaign associates were prosecuted for lying to the FBI, and the same standard should apply to others regardless of politics. Tonight, a senior Senate Democrat, Richard Blumenthal, called the referral partisan and said the Russia investigation was triggered by information entirely separate from the dossier. Tucker.
Catherine Herridge, thank you very much for that.
Unbelievable. Yeah, remember that? When they go low, we go high? Okay. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.